Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, I wanted to make a video talking about Hoyoverse in all three games, the big three: Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero. So you guys already know Hoyoverse, they've been under fire recently with, Genshin Impact in a lawsuit. We have HSR 3.0, that's a complete disaster. And then for Zenless Zone Zero, Zenless Zone Zero is pretty much chilling. But I really wanted to make this video because, I know some of you guys are probably going to say, well, if all these games suck, which game is worth playing, right? Out of the three, Genshin Impact, HSR, or Zenless Zone Zero, which game is worth playing? So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate it. If you haven't, fuck you, I'm just playing. I'm playing with y'all. But let's get right into it. So first things first, I want to introduce the domino effect, or I'll say the Hoyo effect. So what is the Hoyo effect and what does it have to do with this topic? So I know, okay, some of you guys might notice or realize that whenever Hoyoverse, they release a game, for example, Genshin Impact, when we look at all three games right here, Genshin Impact, HSR, and Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin was released first, right? And when Genshin first released, version 1.0, amazing, really fun game. That's the honeymoon phase of Genshin. That's pretty much the honeymoon phase for every gacha game. When a game first releases, everybody enjoys the game. But once we, play the game for a couple more months, then you start to realize some problems and issues in the game. So these are like the top 5 problems I can think about when it comes to Genshin Impact. You have the resin system, no skip button. 4 years. It took 4 years for them to implement their first free 5-star character, horrible rewards, and the artifact system. Now, of course, we have horrible storytelling. That's also bad as well. But I feel like the horrible storytelling applies to the, no skip button. So those are like the 5 top issues I can think of. There are multiple, but if I were to, go into more details as to all the details, I mean, if I were to go into more details and talk about all the issues in Genshin Impact, this video would last for 5 fucking hours. And I don't want to do that. So these 5 issues are currently in the game, and there are a lot more, trust me. But these are like the 5 major issues. Now, when we look at HSR, I feel like these are like the top 3 issues for HSR, which is no skip button, power creep, and horrible storytelling. HSR has good content, like you have pure fiction, you have simulated universe. I mean, let's be honest, simulated universe, a lot of people don't really play simulated universe because it's repetitive and boring. We mostly play Memories of Chaos, pure fiction, and other game modes in the game. But HSR has a good amount of in-game content. So HSR, these are like the top 3 problems so far: no skip button, power creep, and horrible storytelling. Now we move to Zenless Zone Zero. I can't really find an issue with that game. Now, me personally, I played the game for like 6 days when it released, and I stopped playing the game. I don't play the game anymore. But for Zenless Zone Zero, the biggest issue with the game was the TV system, right? The TV system, a lot of people had. That's one of the main reasons why I stopped playing the game, is because of the TV system. But I'm pretty sure in version 1.4, correct me in the comment section down below if I'm incorrect about this, but I'm pretty sure in version 1.4 or 1.2, they removed the TV system. They removed the TV system, and now a lot of people are actually enjoying the story a lot more. Plus, for Zenless Zone Zero, you do have the skip button. So Zenless Zone Zero doesn't really have a lot of issues. It's just that the only issue I can see is that some people, including me, don't like the gameplay. It's like, I feel like some people don't play the game because they simply don't want to. So that's like the only reason I can find as up to right now. But those are all the 3 top games Hoyoverse have made so far. Of course, we have Honkai Impact third, but that doesn't count. We're talking about the big 3 here. So I forgot to add that Genshin Impact, they only released one 5-star character, one 5-star skin in its mid. And then for HSR, we're in version 3.0 and we only have 1 skin so far, which is crazy. So those 2 problems, yeah, those are definitely a problem in both Genshin Impact and HSR. For Zenless Zone Zero, I'm pretty sure for version 1.2, they are going to get some skins for 3 characters, which is actually pretty dope. So Zenless Zone Zero, they're perfectly fine when it comes to skins. So let's talk about this effect. So realize how whenever they release a game, right? So Genshin Impact was first. All of these issues in Genshin Impact, players have been complaining about this for a long time. Realize how instead of them implementing changes into Genshin Impact, instead of them, listening to their players and actually improving the game, they're placing these improvements. Let me go ahead and draw this real quick. They're placing these improvements to HSR. So whatever we ask in Genshin, they put that in HSR. Resin system. Guess what? HSR, resin system, really, really good. If you don't play the game for 3 days, you log back into the game, you have like 2,000 resin and you can do a huge grind session. HSR's resin system is 10 times better than Genshin Impact's. And Genshin Impact, they can improve it if they want. They can literally improve, they can implement the same resin system that HSR has and put it in Genshin, but they simply refuse to. So that's what I mean by the Hoyo effect. Instead of them placing changes in their current game like Genshin Impact, they pretty much, it's like they froze improvements. They no longer improve the game, and they're focusing on the next game, which is HSR, and then the next game after that is Zenless Zone Zero. So resin system, right, still an issue in Genshin Impact, but in HSR they fixed that. It's way better. No skip button, still an issue in both games. I'm going to put the equal sign right here, right? No skip button, still an issue in both games. I apologize for my drawing, it's absolutely terrible. But yeah, both games still have no skip button, which is stupid. For 4 years, 4 years for first free 5-star character, it took them 4 years to give their players a free 5-star character. Meanwhile, for HSR, it only took them probably like a couple months, a month or a year, in order for them to give their players a free 5-star character. So that right there, a huge L for a Genshin Impact. We're going to put the X sign right here. There we go. And then for horrible rewards. Now for HSR gives way better rewards because, you know, we always have a daily login event for HSR. You log in for a day and you get free summon tickets, which is pretty dope. So Genshin, holding the L with that one. Artifact system, absolute dog shit. We thought that the elixir system would have been really good, but it's a waste of time because you can only get 1 elixir per month, which is fucking stupid, and you would have to get the battle pass, spend money and all that crap. It would have been better for them to implement the elixirs in events. You can get elixirs through events, because for HSR they do that. They give you resources in events in order for you to create your own, in order for you to customize your own artifact. But for Genshin, it's either you buy the battle pass or you get 1 elixir per 3 or 4 months, which is fucking stupid. So artifact system, complete garbage here. And then they only release 1 5-star skin in its mid, which is the Deluxe skin. Game's been out for 4 years and we still only have 1 5-star skin, and it's fucking trash. Like the Deluxe skin, let's be honest guys, for a 5-star skin, it's nothing crazy. So we're also going to put the X sign right there. So far, the only thing that's actually no, resin system, we're also going to put an X there too. The only thing that Genshin Impact hasn't took an L on is the skip button. And the reason why I say they haven't taken an L yet is because HSR also has the same thing as well. So they're both equal on that. They're both equally taking the L right there. So that's insane, man. All of these issues, man, crazy. So now we look at HSR. So all of these problems that Genshin Impact has, the resin system, HSR doesn't have that. We have the no skip button, it does have that. 4 years for first free 5-star character. Honkai Star Rail, they did well on that. They gave us a free doctor ratio, which was really good. They have good rewards. Artifact system is also pretty good. And then when it comes to skins, now we'll say for skins, Genshin Impact has way more skins than HSR. So HSR, you guys are going to hold the L on that one right there. So power creep. You guys already know when it comes to HSR, the power creep is horrific. It is terrible. They would release 1 character for version 3.0, and then for 3.1, next character is broken, and then the character that you summoned for in 3.0 is no longer useful. It's fucking stupid.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
So power creep in HSR is a huge problem. But of course, we have the horrible storytelling. Now, I do believe that HSR storytelling is way worse than Genshin Impact's, and the reason why is because the pacing for HSR, like the story, the pacing is so slow. And dude, the story quests last for hours, like 10 hours, 12 hours. It's ridiculous. I'll say for Genshin Impact, their Archon quests last for like probably 5 or 4 hours or 6 hours max. But for HSR, it's like 10 hours, man, 10 hours max. It's insanity. Plus you have version 2.6, which was like a complete disaster. So HSR, horrible storytelling, and of course we have the power creep. So I feel like those are like the top 5 issues when it comes to HSR. And now we move on over to Zenless Zone Zero. So you guys can see all these problems we had for Genshin Impact and HSR, they're not in Zenless Zone Zero. The only major problem, right, most players had with Zenless Zone Zero was the TV system. This right here almost ruined the game. If they didn't remove that, Zenless Zone Zero would have been cooked. But because they actually listened to their community and they removed the TV system, we're all good. So you guys realize that every single time they make a new game, instead of them improving their current game, HSR for example, they're like, you know what? All the things that players ask for, we're going to implement it in our new game. So for all the people who are saying Zenless Zone Zero doesn't have a lot of issues, hey, hold your horses, because you don't know that, you know, once Hoyoverse, once they decide to release another game after Zenless Zone Zero, that's when we're going to start seeing some problems in ZZZ. And when we're asking for, you know, improvements, when we're asking them to improve the game, they're going to do that in the next game. So you guys can see that it is literally a cycle. Whatever issues Genshin Impact has, that issue will literally be on pause. They are not going to fix that problem. They're going to put it on pause. It's going to stay like that forever. For HSR, same thing. Power creep always will be a problem. No skip button always will be a problem. Horrible storytelling. We're currently in version 3.0 and the storytelling is getting worse and worse and worse. We thought Pinnacle was trash, bro. 3.0. Now, I'm not gonna jump to conclusions because Inforia's just came out. You know, we're only in version 3.0, so I'm not gonna say that Inforia's is dog shit. But as of to right now, the storytelling is fucking horrible in Inforia's. It's crazy. It's a fucking yap fest. So the storytelling is still dog shit, and the lack of skins in the game is crazy. So that is gonna be on pause as well. They're not gonna implement these changes in HSR. They're gonna implement these changes in Zenless Zone Zero. So out of all 3 games as of to right now, Zenless Zone Zero is literally the only game that's chilling. They removed the TV system, right? Let me go ahead and put a check mark right here. They removed the TV system, which is really, really good. The game has a skip button, which HSR and Genshin, they both don't have a skip button. They released a free 5-star character really, really early, which is pretty good. They're giving 3 new skins. That's literally way more than HSR. So they're doing really well. It's like the only thing that Zenless Zone Zero, like the only thing that's not going well for the game is, of course, it's not making a lot of money compared to HSR and Genshin, but that's not the point. And some people just don't enjoy the gameplay. It's not their cup of tea. That's like the only thing, the only cons I can see for Zenless Zone Zero. But once again, once they release their new game, right, we're gonna go ahead and type this down real quick. Once Hoyoverse releases their new game, you're gonna start seeing some issues with Zenless Zone Zero. New issues will start to come, and then when the players are like, hey, can you guys fix these issues, the devs are gonna be like, nah, we're gonna put these issues in the new game instead. It's a fucking cycle, and that's why I call it the domino effect. Genshin's domino already fell over already. Like the domino's already cooked, already fell over. After that, Honkai Star Rail, that domino fell over. The only one that's currently still standing up right now is Zenless Zone Zero. And then once they release the new game after Zenless Zone Zero, all the issues in Zenless Zone Zero, they're going to be put on pause. They're going to be put on pause. They're going to be like, all right, that's it. We're not going to improve the game anymore because now we have a new game, and all the issues we had in ZZZ, we're going to fix that in the next game. So honestly, in the grand scheme of things, this new game, like the next Hoyoverse game, is probably going to be their best one yet, because you guys can clearly see the pattern here. Genshin Impact is by far the worst game in terms of quality of life updates. It is literally the worst. HSR is second worst, and then ZZZ is third, is like last place when it comes to quality of life updates. So the next game after that, I think, is going to be their best game. But ZZZ is probably cooked because they're going to stop improving that game, and whichever changes we want in ZZZ is going to be implemented in the next game. So yes, guys, this is your Hoyo effect. Whichever changes you want, the devs to implement any specific game, for example, HSR, they're going to implement these changes in another game. Now, I will say for HSR, they are still improving the game, which is pretty good, but these issues with the no skip button, the power creep, horrible storytelling, they got to do something about this shit, bro, because it's ruining the game. It really is ruining the game. So hopefully, like, honestly, I'm not even gonna say hopefully because that's just cope, but they're not gonna fix these problems, man. The skip button, they're not gonna fix it. I mean, they pretty much solidified it in their 3.0 story quest. I talked about this in my other video of me talking about Euphorius, but you guys remember that one segment when we were talking to this butterfly girl in a water fountain with Aglaya, and then Aglaya, she was like, "Oh, is this boring for you? Do you want me to, like, switch? Do you want me to switch the narrator so that you can understand what's going on in Euphorius?" And she switched the narrator, and it was even worse. So the devs were pretty much mocking the players, saying, we know that we can actually improve the storytelling, but we're not. We're just gonna make it shit on purpose, which is fucking crazy. So yeah, the skip button, power creep, horrible storytelling, that they're never gonna fix that shit. They're never gonna fucking fix it. Don't even hope, because it's not gonna happen. They're going to implement that change into ZZZ, and you guys can clearly see that for ZZZ, they did. The TV system, they removed it. Skip button, in the game. Storytelling, pretty good. So, yeah, HSR, Genshin Impact, when it comes to power creep, that's never going to change. No skip button, never going to change that. And then horrible storytelling, they're going to make it dog shit on purpose because more playtime, which is absolutely fucking pathetic. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys actually, learned something new. And tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. I mean, I'm not going to ask you guys, which game do you think has the best quality of life updates? It's pretty obvious that Zenless Zone Zero is the winner here. If you say otherwise, you're probably trolling at this point. You're probably trolling, let's be honest. But that's pretty much it for this video, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.